welcome back to another video. Today we will be making this little cute crochet whale, and the items you will need for this whale are yarn, of course. This is the main body color that I will be using, which is blue. And then if you would like to make your whale two different colors, this is for the underbelly right here, but you can just make yours the same color all the way if you would like. You're going to need some eyes. I have these 9mm eyeballs, and I will actually be using the backing that comes with this in the video instead of tacky glue. You also need some scissors, a knitting needle. I will be using a 3.5mm hook, and you should use a hook size that is appropriate for your yarn, but I will be using this 3.5mm one. And you will need some stuffing. Obviously you need more than this, I'm just showing it in the video, but yeah. So let's get started. So first we're going to make a magic ring. And creating a loop, sticking our hook through, and then chaining one. And then from here we're going to do 6 single crochets into the magic ring. So stick our hook into there. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6. Tighten the ring. And then stick your hook into the very first stitch that you made. And from here, I'm going to be making a slip stitch. Then chain 1. And then we're going to do a round of just increasing into each of the stitches. So stick our hook into the same stitch we just made a slip stitch into. It's right there. And then do 2 single crochets total into the same one. And then into the next one. Increase, and you're just going to repeat that all the way around. Once you repeat that all the way around, you should have a total of 12 stitches. And then here you can see this is the slip stitch that I made in the previous round, so I'm not going to be working into that one. There's the chain 1 that I did. This is the very first stitch that I made, so I'm going to stick my hook into there and then make a slip stitch. So we're going to be slip stitching after every round. Chain 1. And then for the third round, we're going to do 1 single crochet and then increase. So we're going to repeat that sequence all the way around. So first, to this first stitch, 1 single crochet, and then into the next one, increase. So you're just going to repeat that all the way around. So once you've done that all the way around, you should have a total of 18 stitches. And here, into the first stitch, we're going to make a slip stitch. So skipping this and that, this is the first stitch of this round. And then make a slip stitch and chain 1. Now we're going to be repeating a sequence of single crochet, increase, then single crochet, which is a concept that I did explain in another video, so you can go check that out if you would like. But for now, just into the first stitch, do 1 single crochet, then into the next, increase, then into the next, 1 single crochet. Again, repeating this sequence of the next one, 1 single crochet, increase, and then 1 single crochet. So you're just going to repeat that all the way around. Now you should have a total of 24 stitches. Then into the first stitch, make a slip stitch, then chain 1, and then for this round we're going to do three single crochets and then increase. So that's 1, 2, 3, and then into the next one, increase. And then you're just going to repeat that all the way around. Now you should have a total of 30 stitches. Into the first stitch, make a slip stitch, and then chain 1. And then for our last increase round, we're going to be repeating a sequence of 2 single crochets, increase, and then 2 single crochets. So here, that's 1 single crochet, that's 2 single crochets, then increase, and then do 2 single crochets. And you're just going to repeat that all the way around. So here I've come to the last stitch of this increase round, and then as usual just making a slip stitch into the first stitch and then chaining 1. And then from here for the next 5 rounds, so if you count up from here, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. From our 7th to our 11th round, we're just going to be doing 1 single crochet into each of the stitches here. So that would leave us a consistent total of 36 stitches. So what you're going to do is just do 1 single crochet into each here, and just keep going around and around until you reach round 11, or you count 5 rounds of just doing this. So I will be back once I've done all those rounds. So I've reached the end of just doing 1 single crochet into each of the stitches. So now to begin the next step, we're going to do a slip stitch, but not into both of the loops this time, only the front loop. So from the V, only stick your hook into the very front one, and then make a slip stitch. Now to start off the tail, we're going to first chain 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then we're going to work a double crochet into the 3rd chain from the hook. So yarn over, that's 1, 2, 3, into the 3rd one right here, do a double crochet, then into the next chain, do another double crochet, into the next one, a half double crochet, and then into the very last chain here, do a single crochet. Now we're going to slip stitch into the same front loop here. You can see there's a hole made, so only this little loop. Then make a slip stitch. Now for the other side of the tail, do the same thing. Chain 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then a double crochet into the 3rd chain from the hook. Oh. Into the next one, double crochet. Next, half double crochet. And then into the last one right here, a single crochet. Into the same place, you're going to do a slip stitch. And then you have your finished tail. From here, to work our way to the next fin, we're going to do 6 single crochets. So into the next stitch right here, I'm going to do one single crochet into both of the loops. To the next one, do another single crochet. So that's 2, then 3, 4, 5, 6. Then into the next one, slip stitch into only the front loop, like so. And then from here, chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Into the third chain from the hook, do a double crochet. Then into the last one, do a half double crochet. Then into the same front loop only that you did earlier, make a slip stitch, and you have one fin done. Now from here we're going to do 21 single crochets all the way around, and then basically repeat this process. But for now, 21 single crochets. So that's 1, 2, 3. Just continue this until you get to 21. So I will be back. So I'm back after I've done 21 single crochets. Now into the next one, in the front loop only, we're going to do a slip stitch. So here I've got the front loop only right there. Yarn over and pull through and do a slip stitch. Chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then double crochet into the third chain from the hook. And then half double crochet into the last chain. Slip stitch into the same front loop only that you did earlier. And now to finish off, we're just going to do 6 single crochets. So right here, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6 right here. Now from here, it might be a bit difficult because we're going to change color. So here, to make it a more smooth transition, I'm actually going to undo this last single crochet that I just did. Oh. And then just try to do another one, except don't finish it. Leave it here and it's 2 loop stay. And then from here, I'm going to get the underbelly color, which for me is white. I'm going to grab it like this, and then use it to finish the single crochet. Now from here, if you look back behind the tail, we only worked into the front loop of this stitch. So we're going to find the back one, which for me is like right there, which I don't know if you can see very well, but there is a loop for me right here. So I'm just going to stick or wiggle my hook through that one. And you can pull on the string to tighten. And then here I'm going to do a chain 1, or slip stitch first. And then pull on the strings to tighten, chain 1. Now I'm going to crochet with this, which can be a little bit difficult, but I don't want to stitch it in later. So from here into the same back loop that you just worked into, so you can see for me right there's a hole right there because I worked into it, but I'm going to basically stick my hook through that hole and then do 1 single crochet, and then into the next stitch. This one's a normal one. I want you to move the tail in order to see. There's one right here hidden. You're going to wiggle your hook through that one, which may be a little bit difficult. Just pull the tail to the side and try to push your hook through that little stitch hidden. And then do another single crochet. Then from there you're going to decrease. So in order to decrease, the way I do it is called an invisible decrease. What you do is take the front loop of the next stitch and then the front loop of the stitch next to that one, yarn over and pull through, then yarn over, pull through again. Now we're going to do 4 single crochets. So 1, 2, 3, and then this 4th one is going to be the back loop of this one right here. So again, folding this fin back, you can see there's a loop right there. Going to stick my hook through it, then pull through, finish the single crochet. And now that I've done 4 single crochets, I'm going to do a decrease. And for this one, it may be hard to do the invisible decrease because the fin is in the way. So instead of doing an invisible decrease, I'm going to do just a normal decrease, which is where you stick your hook into the next stitch, which is hidden by this fin again. Right here is this one. So stick your hook through it, pull through, stick your hook into the next stitch, pull through. You should have 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over and pull through all 3. Then do 4 single crochets again. That's 1, 2, 3, and then 4. I'm going to do an invisible decrease, but you can do the one that I just demonstrated earlier. So I'm just going to take the front loops only, then pull through, then do 4 single crochets, 1, 2, 3, 4, decrease, 1, 2, 3, 4, decrease, then 1. Make sure not to forget the ones hidden, but this one is just a slip stitch, so that one. Fold the fin back, find the back loop, which is right there for me. That's the 2nd single crochet. Then fold the fin this way to find this stitch hidden, kind of hidden. Stick your hook through, finish the single crochet, so that's 3. And then 4, decrease. Now for the last bit of this round, do just 2 single crochets. And we're back to the tail. So before we go on, I'm just going to cut this blue yarn short. Now that they're kind of secure, I'm just going to tuck them in there. And then here it might be difficult to see, but this is the slip stitch, and this slanted part here is the first stitch of the round. So I'm just going to stick my hook through it, and then slip stitch, chain 1. This round will be a little bit easier since we already established this nice little white foundation. From here, we're going to do 3 single crochets and then decrease. So here, that's 1, to the next 2, and then 3, do a decrease, one, two, three, and then decrease. So you're just going to repeat that all the way around. So I'll be back. So I just came back, and before I continue, I'm going to stick my eyes into this whale. So I'm just going to try and estimate where I think might be a good place to put it. I think maybe here. So this is just really like trial and error. You're just going to stick it in, see if you like it, and if you don't, you can move it around. And if you're happy with the position, you can put in the backing part. So I'm just going to be back after I adjust. So I put both eyes in and with the backing in there, as you can see. And then to finish off this whale, we're going to do a few more decrease rounds. And for this one, we're going to be doing one single crochet, decrease, and then one single crochet. So into the very first stitch, very first stitch, single crochet, decrease, and then single crochet, and you're just going to repeat that all the way around. So I just finished that round and already did a slip stitch and chain one. And before going on, I'm going to take some stuffing and then stuff my whale. For this, you don't need actual stuffing. You could honestly just use like little scraps of yarn that you have, or I have heard some of my friends just use crumpled up paper. I'm not sure how effective that is, but really, as long as it just stuffs the animal well and keeps them fluffy, it'll work. So I'll be back after firmly stuffing this whale. Now to begin our next decrease round, we're just going to do one single crochet and then decrease. So here, doing one single crochet and then decreasing. So I'm just going to repeat that all the way around. So I finished that round and already slip stitch and chain one. For our very last decrease round, we're going to do decreasing. So here, since it's hard to grab the front loop only, I'm just going to do the other kind of decrease. And I'm just going to do that 6 times total, but you don't really need to count. You can just do it until you come to the slip stitch area here. So I'll be back after I finish this round. And yeah, so I come all the way to the end and I've already slip stitched. From here, we're just going to cut a decent tail to sew the end closed here. I have a little bit of stuffing about to come out, but we can just cut it or stick it back in with the needle. I'm just going to pull it out. Then you can just massage the little whale to make sure it's a good shape. Now to finish off this whale, we're going to take a needle and then stick our yarn through the hole. And then from here, it's a little hard to see since the yarn is white, but what you're going to do is you're only going to stick your needle through the front loop. so only one of the loops of the V. So I'm just going to do that into the next one, front loop only, into the next one right here, front loop only, to the next one, front loop only, front loop only, then last one, front loop only. Then from here, you're just going to pull, and it'll kind of close like that. Just stick your needle through that middle area and pull it, not too tightly, just a decent amount to make sure it's not really sticking out. And then just hide your tail. I'm just going to wiggle my yarn in between the stitches here to secure this. And then stick it out through another end. And then cut it short. And here now you have your little finished whale. You can add blush using pink yarn right here, or use actual blush to just dust it on there. But otherwise, you have your finished whale here. I hope you liked this video. Please consider donating to the sites I have linked in my description box and in my about page on my YouTube channel. But otherwise, thank you so much for watching as always, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye!